It's your boy, Edwardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of Cinema Draft and DraftStream, and currently your DraftStream Alpha Test Game Week Clean Sweep winner. Oh, did not want to do that. Yes, we have... Man, it's messing up my own stuff. Yes. So I've won both first, second, and the low ball for exactly $0.00. All hail me. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, but for the actual money winners this week, the top 2 finishing spots that are non-Cinema Draft affiliated go to the Roan! Woo! Our boy, Henry G., upcoming podcast guest in a couple weeks. Longtime Cinema Draft supporter, alpha and beta tester, made a heroic, valiant comeback. Let's see how he did it. And it was largely due to the twerking of P-Valley. Yes. P-Valley, which, don't even get me started on how much I love this pilot. This show is going to be great. The pilot was excellent. Trended briefly on Twitter Sunday night. But IMDb didn't love it. I'm still upset about this rating. Look at this rating. It was like, they gave it like a 4.8. Okay, we're just going to be slow today. They gave it a 4.8 on IMDb. A lot of, just pearl clutching and puritanical takes. Just terrible takes. Just on the cinematography alone, making these ladies look like professional athletes, which technically they kind of are. It's just wild. These user reviews are just nuts. So anyways, P-Valley helped vault him from the middle of the pack to the top. Just the outstanding turn of events. I believe maybe the Roan's first cash in a while. His first top cash this DraftStream season. Also, headliner stack of Breathe Into the Shadows, headliner stack of Close Enough. And his sampling worked. I believe I mentioned in an earlier review podcast that even though his strategy was a little eclectic, I liked the call sheet, and it came through. Oh, and you know what? Actually, this is wild. It came through despite having 3 day players. Do not try this at home, folks. Do not try this at home. It was largely off the strength of P-Valley. Their 2 day players apparently were better than the competitions. And speaking of the competition, I do believe it was Ring Balls who gets the second place prize, coming in 4th this week. And with no P-Valley, he had to work a little harder to get there. 0 P-Valley actors on his call sheet, but a nice combo of 3 stacking the old guard with an optimal stack of Little Voice, which we were looking out for it. Could Little Voice pull out a Google user score and give him the upset and the come from behind win? And it could not. Little Voice did not appear on Google user results. Close Enough headliner stack. Otherwise, very solid call sheet. But you know what? You need more P-Valley, my man. You need more P-Valley. Oh, what am I doing? No, we don't want that. Okay. And then, of course, a real quick review of my top 2 winning call sheets. I went all in on P-Valley. Best thing I did all weekend. And actually, and of these, Close Enough headliner stack. And then I went sampling myself. A headliner from Palm Springs, The 12, and Widow of Silence. And I actually watched, this weekend, I watched The Old Guard. Had a great time. I watched Palm Springs, ditto. And then P-Valley might be my new favorite show. It's just so deep, Southern Fried. I mean, I had a blast. It was great. The perfect call sheet this week, 1392, so I was just under 40 points off the pace. And this is the old 811. We haven't seen 811 headliner co-star day player construction in a while. It had headliner stacks from Breathe, Into the Shadows, Close Enough, 3-pack from P-Valley, and a 3-pack from the Old Guard. Also, let's take a look real quick at my low ball winning call sheet. And a bit of a hodgepodge because I had to get to that 75,000 minimum. Took a bit to get there. And expecting Amy helped get me there, although it did pretty well. Same thing with Greyhound. I'm just at this point I'm just making up. At this point I'm just salary dumping because I did as pretty much as I could of Money Plane. Palm Springs was also another salary dump. And then the Beach House. Not quite a salary dump. Seems like Shudder titles just do okay. And then for comparison, the lowball call sheet. Looks like I didn't need a salary dump. Greatness Code. I mean, look, I've already learned my lesson. I am not going up against Apple TV in the low if you paid me. I just can't do it. But it looks like this was the week that Apple TV's string of hits got broken. Greatness Code and Little Voice underperformed, and then a heapin' helpin' of Money Plane. Some other interesting call sheets. PK, Arutakalap, Palakathuria, our lead designer. She did quite well. Almost beat the bird in her opening weekend. Came in, what was that, 8th? Came in 8th in her initial try. Better than the brown baby. We'll get there in a second. Sorry, Draft Mom. And yeah, she had a very solid call sheet. Only one day player. I like it. Which was the 12. Headliner stack of Close Enough. Headliners. Oh, only one headliner from Breathe Into the Shadows. I see. And a co-star. 4-pack of Little Voice. She really was concentrating on getting those extra bonus points. That's a smart strategy in general. PK. The 12 and the 12. Okay, so yeah, nicely done. Very good start. And granted, she only played this week because she lost a bet. But hopefully, PK, you will return and see if you can't be the first non-CEO founder to win a week in Cinema Draft or DraftStream. Okay. And G24 came up just a little shy, just 6 points shy of ring balls. Let's see what our last week's winner and the all-time Cinema Draft money winner. I am contractually obligated to say that. Let's see how his call sheet did this week. And it did fine. Look at all the P-Valley here. A 4-pack of P-Valley, headliner stack of Little Voice. And this is what it is. Apple TV, normally a brand you can trust, betrayed him this week. This core 4 of Apple TV Plus just underperformed for him. Close Enough headliner stack. And as we're so often fond of saying in poker and also in acting, I have theater background training, whatever, it's really about the process, not necessarily the result. I mean, the reward really is in the process. And I like his process in this. His process was sound. I like it. Just didn't turn out your way. Keep making good decisions. G24. And Brown Baby. The Cinema Draft mascot. We want so much for you, Mom. What happened this week? 14th. Well, although I chastise you off air for having too many day players, turns out you didn't have the right day players. If you had day players from P-Valley, apparently you would have done a lot better. In this case, in this case, once again, I don't blame the process. Your process in this was sound, with the exception of Money Plane. Money Plane was always going to be an anchor. I mean, anytime you're almost 20 points below the default score with any one of your titles, any one of your actors, you're in trouble. And here, I mean, everything is sound, makes sense, and Apple TV Plus didn't fail you the entire weekend. It was just little voice. This 4-pack right here sunk your chances. You replaced this 4 with P Valley, which money wise, she had plenty of budget for. I mean, and you're gaining minimum 25 points per actor. That's an extra 100 points. And that 1221 puts you in the top 10. And it's been a while since you've been in the top 10, Mom. But I like the effort. Appreciate you. And we will see what you bring this week. And speaking of, let's transition to this week's talent pool. 15 hot ones. New for you. In the house. We have the debut of Peacock. And actually, I'm doing something I don't like to do that often. We are incorporating 2 Wednesday releases. A little too early for my blood, but just wanted to get some exposure to Peacock, see what they have to offer. So make sure when you're filling out your call sheets, especially if you wait until Thursday to do it, which I somewhat advise, is that make sure you get all the available data you can on Peacock. We also saw something similar when HBO Max debuted. They did Love Life. They came out on Wednesday and ended up doing really well for its platform. So yeah, so let's take a look at some of the talent pool. Our highest, our most expensive title this week is going to be The Alienist, Angel of Darkness. Now, this is going to be a little tricky to score. This is technically the second season of The Alienist. If I don't find pages devoted specifically for The Alienist, Angel of Darkness, then I will go to then I'll revert to the first season, The Alienist, of which there is data and reviews out there. I enjoyed The Alienist for the most part. I think I still had one episode left to go. I don't think I quite finished that first season. It's basically, it's basically this main trio. Dakota Fanning, I mean, she could easily be a headliner as well. But start at 18,800. Oh, and also, by the way, thank you for your feedback in the Cinema Draft group chat on the salary pricing. I appreciate it. I have tried something different to make the pricing a little tighter, a little more difficult, but also a little more value centric. There's always going to be some titles that you pay for value. There's always going to be some titles that you're just paying for points that you just can't avoid. To give you an example from this past week, and you look at something like, say, Close Enough, you're paying for points. There's early indications and data out there, partial data, but data out there that this was going to perform, so it got priced up. Whereas something with like P Valley, I mean, I honestly didn't know what to expect. There's zero data out there. I kind of lowballed it some because it's on Stars. We don't have a large sample size from Stars. I thought there might be the puritanical stink, the puritanical, nose holding and pearl clutching, which we ended up seeing in the IMDb user reviews. But this one definitely turned out to be one for value. I think by Thursday afternoon, when I filled out my call sheets, I got an inkling that this is going to be good. I think Rotten Tomatoes score was already out there. I saw a glowing review of all places from the New York Times. So I had a feeling P Valley was going to perform. So there's some salaries that are either you stumble into some value, some that you are aiming for value, some you have to pay for points. This Palm Springs was going to be a pay for points one, and so was Close Enough. So sometimes you just have to suck it up and shell. And also, if you look at our perfect call sheet, where unexpected value came through, but you paid for points, and you kind of paid for points in these two right here. So sometimes you can luck into some value. Sometimes you're going to end up paying for points, and I really do try to balance a bit of a range in creating salaries for some that we know are just going to suck. Like, for example, not to prejudice you in your call sheet making, but in your call sheet constructions. But Dirt Music, there's a reason why the two headliners are only 5,400. You know, our minimum pricing on this platform, on this site, is 5,000, and 5,400. I mean, this is pretty much as low as you can go, which should give you an indication that this might be a lowball entry favorite. I mean, you can try punting if you need to with these. If you're just so convinced that the other 9 slots on your call sheet deserve to eat up all your salary, but most likely this is going to underperform. Punting doesn't always... Actually, punting rarely works, as we've seen so far. Fatal Affair. My girl, Nia Long. And if you're as old as I am, Nia Long was very formative in your black cinema experience in the 90s and the aughts. Still very good looking, still very talented, and leading a Netflix thriller. Now, I watched the trailer. The trailer's terrible. The trailer pretty much shows you the entire movie at once. I probably will not watch this, or at best, I might give it a half hour, as famously like I did with Eurovision, which I end up enjoying, but this does not look to be good. But I am all for working black actors getting some working checks. Working black actors getting checks for working. I'm all about that. What else? A documentary on Flannery O'Connor. Price down because not a lot of people know who Flannery O'Connor is. I barely know about her. I know she's a poet. I know... Actually, honestly, that's all I really know. Sometimes I confuse her with Sylvia Plath. She's the one who committed suicide, I believe. But no, Flannery's different. I believe Flannery's from the South, and she's a poet. That's all I know. I don't expect much out of this title. Ghosts of War is one to keep your eye on. Some really good early buzz about this. It's a horror thriller. I'm not going to watch. I'm not into horror films. Although I do like Theo Rossi. If you remember, he's old boy from Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good dude. What was the name of it? Juice. Yeah, he was Juice. Yeah, he's a good actor. He was also in Luke Cage. Forgot about that. Yeah. So anyways, so keep your eye on that one. And then Psych 2, also a new Peacock entry. The debut of Peacock. And for those who aren't aware, Peacock is NBC Universal's attempt at streaming. Basically, it's going to be a lot of The Office and USA, Blue Skies TV stuff like Suits and White Collar, things like that. I'm not paying for that. I'm not checking for this type of stuff. Psych has a built-in fan base. I think it ran for 4 or 5 seasons. People seem to love Psych who watch it. I think I've only watched an episode and I was out. And fun fact, I do believe I was an extra back in my days of doing background TV work on one episode of Psych, which I never ever end up seeing. Anyways, so Psych, keep your eye on that. It actually might overperform its pricing only because its fans seem to love Psych. Actually, if we take a look at James Roday, who I believe has a decent paying gig right now on A Million Little Things. Yeah. If you look at Psych TV series, oh wow, they ran for a while. They ran for 8 years. Yeah, 8.3 on the original Psych. So this could be a source of hidden value even at 11,000 for your headliner, 9,700 for your day player, because of the 60% weighting we give for audience scores, both Google user and IMDb user. The fandoms, the standoms could come out and boost this. So let's keep our eye on that as we get closer to game lock. All right, and last one, Secrets She Keeps. Why so pricey, you may ask? Well, this Australian drama has already been out. So we already have a little information on it. And it seems like it's been decently reviewed over in Oz. I like Laura Carmichael. She of... I can't remember her name on the show, but she's of Downton Abbey fame. Jessica DeGale, I think she's in the WB's... Not W... Yeah, the CW's... is it... You know, never mind. I think she's in the Arrowverse somewhere. Anyways, this Australian thriller should do decent points business. And then ABC throwing something up onto DraftStream for the first time. United We Fall. Can't say I am into it. Looks like your basic, bland, you know, multi-camera TV sitcom. So, you know, what are you going to do? So, and that one, yeah, priced about what you expect. It's going to be on ABC, so it definitely should get all 4 ratings. But I'm not expecting much out of it. All right, so there is your DraftStream game review, final score update, and talent pool preview. Thanks everybody for playing. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you guys back here on Thursday after Game Lock, sometime after 6 p.m. Pacific time, with your call sheet review and weekend preview. Thanks for playing, everybody.